So, good evening, and welcome along to another big music show here on NVTV. Coming up on the show this week, we'll be talking to singer-songwriter Janet Henry. We'll have live music from up-and-coming blues singer Chris Taplin. And starting things off, here is Barry and Colm Kirwan.
Ever since we were kids, a secret that I've never told.
I teased and ignored you, but oh, I adored you. Children can be so blind. We played on the swings and we played in the trees, but Mary, you played with my mind. True love we all try to find. Sometimes it's in front of our eyes. I long for that hand in my life that will walk with me, rain or shine. Oh, Mary, Mary, be mine.
Oh, Mary, Mary, a memory I carried, the girl with the soft emerald eyes.
My heart hasn't changed, although I have aged. In time I have grown more wise. True love we all try to find. Sometimes it's in front of our eyes. I long for that hand in my life that will walk with me, rain or shine. Oh, Mary, Mary, be mine.
So marry me, Mary, it's no longer scary. I'm hopelessly in love with you.
If life is a ride, I want you by my side to laugh with and hold on to. True love we all try to find. Sometimes it's in front of our eyes. I long for that hand in my life that will walk with me, rain or shine. True love we all try to find. Sometimes it's in front of our eyes. I long for that hand in my life that will walk with me, rain or shine. Oh, Mary, Mary, be mine. La-da-ba-da, la-ba-la-la-da-ba-da, la-ba-la-la-da-ba-da-ba.
So that's a song called Mary, Mary from Barry and Colm Kirwan, and the guys are here with me in the studio. Welcome. So you're back home from Nashville at the minute. It's been like a bit of a family reunion, because I know yourself and Barry and your dad, Dominic Kirwan,
Yes.
all did a big gig last night, didn't you?
We did. It was a great night. It was a great excuse for me to come home. Not that I need any excuses, but we did a TV show for Opry and Lure with Daniel O'Donnell, Opry Le Daniel, and it was a great day. It was a long day. It was a busy day, but it was a fun day, and it was a real cool show where I got to kind of showcase a lot of my songs, and we each got to do a duet with each other, and then we did a song, the three of us, and then we also did a song with Daniel. It was a great day out for everybody, and seemed to be well received from all the fans that were there too.
So Barry, what's it like performing with your dad on stage?
Well, we've been doing that for a long time, from a very early age. Even when we used to go to gigs from very tiny, maybe the age of 4 or 5, Dad would have always, got us up on stage, so we kind of got used to that. But Colm and myself then, we toured with Dad for about 4 years. and I was drumming at the time, and Colm was playing guitar and doing backing vocals. So it's something that we've got very used to. Now when we're all out front singing, it's a bit different, but it's still, we love doing it, and our voices blend very, very well together. So it's something that we enjoy, because we don't get to do it that often.
So you started off as a drummer. You studied drumming, didn't you, in London?
I did. I studied drums for 3 years. I lived down in Chiswick. I was in a part of a college called Drum Tech. I think it's now changed to BIM. And it was a great time. I loved living in London for the time that I was there, and I made a lot of friends. And I mean, the course was based all around drums, which for me at the time, I loved drumming. So to find a course like that was something that I was very interested in, and I learned a lot over there.
And you went on to drum with people like Derek Ryan and Lisa McHugh, didn't you?
I did. Well, I drummed with Dad first
Yeah.
for 4 years, and then I went on to, actually went out to live in Nashville with Colm for a few months, and I drummed with a country duo out there called Joey and Rory.
Yes.
Yeah, I drummed with them for a few gigs, and we actually lived on their farm
Wow.
for the few months that we were there. And then when I come back to Ireland, Lisa McHugh offered me a job, and I drummed with her for 8 months, and then I got offered the job with Derek Ryan. And I worked with Derek for 4.5 years until I decided to come out front.
Yeah. Colin, you started off in musical theatre.
Mm-hmm.
How did you find that?
I loved it. I think, like Barry, growing up in a musical household, growing up in both mum and dad in their own ways. Obviously, Dad professionally worked in music. Mum was very much involved in amateur dramatics and a lot of church music, whether it be weddings and funerals and just the local parish. So music was always a part of it, and I did a lot of amateur dramatics growing up, musical theatre, Irish dancing some. Barry continued on the Irish dancing a lot more than I did. There was a point where Mum said, all right, on Saturday you can't go to this and that.
Yeah.
So I loved musical theatre, and at 18 I always wanted to go to university, and I think my parents wanted us to go. It wasn't forced, but I wasn't really all that taken by going to do a degree in like music, just music, or music technology, or some of these other degrees. And I found Mount View and a few other musical theatre colleges which were pretty much all practical based. Mm-hmm. And you went in and you auditioned with your song and your dance and all the rest. And I don't know that I expected to get in, but I did get into Mount View. And my plan after that was to leave, but then the end of the course you do kind of like an audition for all the casting directors and producers. Yeah. And I ended up getting an agent from that there, and then I auditioned for Andrew Lloyd Webber's Jesus Christ Superstar, and I got into it, and I toured with that for a year. But it was at the end of Superstar, Dad's was looking for an opening act out on the road, and he'd said to me, he says, "Do you fancy coming out?" It was only a 7-week thing. Nobody ever intended it to be any more. I was like Barry, even though I had all this stage experience, I was used to having a director and a producer tell me, stand here, do this, put your leg here, whatever it was. I didn't have to do anything else. And then suddenly I was standing out front. And over those 7 weeks, I think I remembered what the young Colm really fell in love with. And I think there was an element of seeing Dad on stage that I always kind of admired and dreamt about too. And 7 weeks turned into 4 years.
Wow.
Touring with Dad, and I loved every minute of it. And it was just near the end of that I was really starting to get into songwriting, and ideas where songs were coming, and it was kind of from that period that led to an opportunity to go to Nashville.
So Barry, did you not get the urge to stay when you went out to Nashville?
I actually would have loved to have stayed. I spent 3 months out there, and actually when I came back, I did look into the whole visa thing, but it was just working out too expensive for me at the time. As I said, I wasn't working, so I just got back into drumming here. But I would have loved to have gone back to America, but I've been out since, and hopefully I'll get it back out again very, very soon.
Is there a new album in the pipeline?
Well, I'm still kind of just promoting this new one, an album called Moments, which that Mary Mary song is on. Probably later in the year, I think I'll probably look at doing some more studio stuff. But for now, it's just trying to get that Moments album out there, and I'll probably maybe do another few videos of a couple of tracks off that album.
Sure. Colin, what's next for you?
Continue to keep writing, and I would love to do a new record. I have a lot of songs at the moment. I'd love to get into the studio to do a new album, to continue writing, just continue to keep working on things over there. I've been looking into some things over there, maybe treading the boards again, which I haven't professionally done any acting since I was, well, acting every day, but other professionally since my early 20s. So it's been something that I kind of feel like a bit of an itch inside of me to look at that again, but continue with music, continue writing, hopefully a new record, and again, maybe some acting down the road.
Great stuff. Well, guys, thank you for coming in and joining
Thank
us. Barry, we're going to finish with a song from you. We're going to do Up the Jive.
Yeah, this is a song actually Colm and myself co-wrote. Because I was in the scene I was in, the Irish country scene, the jiving thing was coming back. The country music was taking off, and I had said to Colm about, I was very surprised people were using this hashtag caption on social medias, Up the Jive, and I said, I'm surprised nobody's wrote a song around that yet. And so I said it to Colm, and we sat down and wrote Up the Jive.
Okay, well, here we go. With Up the Jive, here's Barry Kirwan.
We work all week just to make ends meet. Sometimes it's a struggle, no, it ain't easy street. But when the work week's done, it's time to have some fun. You can dance in a pub or dance in the club. We're gonna do what we love, up the jive. Yeah, up the jive. The band is pumping, kick drums thumping. Come on, baby, yeah, you're looking stunning. Got a guitar picker picking, and that floor it ain't sticking. It's Saturday night, let's look alive, 'cause time ain't on our side. Up the jive. Yeah, up the jive. It's Saturday night. Twirling, swirling, swinging and curling, holding for dear life. And there's flirting, curtain, no one's for certain who's with who tonight. Up the jive. Yeah. So come on down. Just be a man. That's a pretty woman, go on, take her by the hand. 'Cause if you take a chance, you might find romance. And if you don't believe, you might never see that it was meant to be. Up the jive. Yeah, up the jive. Let's feel alive. It's Saturday night. Whoa, up the jive. Whoa, up the jive. Whoa, up the jive. If you know this city, you'll find that it ain't so pretty. People talk, but they also walk, and nothing here is ever free. Now you stray through the parts where nobody knows, and you'll find yourself with a bloody nose. For what reason, man, you're left out in the cold as the evil Halloween does blow. Yeah.
colors when you take a look inside. Don't try your lucks when the odds are stacked high. I said you won't get out this time. I said one bad deed might be enough. Then they come show you that you ain't so tough. Friendly faces take you to quiet places and turn evil when they gain your trust. I said this ain't no pretty city, I'll tell you no lie. 100 to 1, you're left out to dry. So don't try your luck when the odds are stacked high. In this city there's no better way to die.
So that's a track called No Pretty City from Chris Taplin, and the man himself joins me in the studio. Welcome.
Thanks very much for having me.
Tell us about that song then.
You know, I've done a wee bit of exploring in my time, and I came across a very, very small place it's actually branded as a city, but wasn't a city. It was in a wee country I'd visited before. They sort of branded it as a lovely, lovely place, but I went there with high hopes and found it to be quite a rough place. So I thought but I embraced it and thought to myself, there's a song in this.
Okay. So of all the music genres in the world, what was it that got you into blues then?
I got into blues at a very, very young age. Very young age. There's always music in my house for a start. That was one of the main things. And I actually wanted to watch the Lion King, as the story goes. And this is in the days of tapes and different things like that, no DVDs or anything like that, and it was a tape player. And I put the tape into the machine, and somebody had recorded over the Lion King with Chuck Berry.
Right, yeah.
So instead of watching glued to the Lion King, this close from the TV, for hours, I was glued to Chuck Berry instead. And I asked my dad for a guitar the next day, and I was 4 years old, so he got me this little thing that was like pressing down on nails for cheap, and just took it from there.
So long did it take to learn the guitar then?
Well, it took a while. It did take a while. I mean, my dad did everything he could for me, and other family members, my uncle and stuff like that, they did a lot for me, especially with exploring the different realms of music and different things like that. And but then eventually I just took it on myself at about 11 or 12 years old, and just had a hunger to get better and better at it, and it's just never left me.
So after Chuck Berry, who did you discover next?
Oh, Rory Gallagher.
Of course, yeah.
That was an experience. just to know that he actually came from this island was phenomenal to me, because I was thinking to myself then, well, if he can do this, then surely I can do it too.
Yeah.
You know, and I think he did that for a lot of musicians from this country. You know, he gave them a hope that we can all do it.
Yeah.
You know,
Rory did, and the great Gary Moore did
Gary
as well.
Moore as well. Yeah, the same thing. You know, Gary, Thin Lizzy.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know, I mean, touring the world, doing the thing, and where's he from? He's from here.
So you've got your own band
I do
together at
indeed.
the minute as well. How did
Yep.
you get that together?
Well, I moved away a while ago, and I just wanted to sort of go around and do a bit of exploring for a while, so I did that. And when I came back here, I had a serious head on me. I wanted to come back and get some stuff done, and it took me half a second to run back into my old friends again and say to them, let's get something done. And that's where it came from. And obviously, you know, a lot of my friends are all into the blues as well, so it wasn't that hard to stumble by one of them.
And there is a great blues scene here in Belfast, and so many great players, isn't there?
It's fantastic. I mean, it actually keeps getting larger and more exciting, and more people are into it, and I'm meeting more people. And I mean, like, obviously we have so many of the great players here, you know. You'll always catch Rob McCulloch on a Thursday night, and religiously will not miss that. it's a you know, it's like being in the classroom for me, that one. And just all the blues gigs that are going on. And then, you know, obviously you've got the Reverend Doc, he's another great one. And, you know, the best thing too is seeing so many young people coming in and playing the blues, you know. And I thought for a long, long time that maybe I was the only one my age, or maybe I was sort of on my own with this music, you know. And it was so refreshing to actually come across people who share the same passion for it as I do.
So yeah, I mean, there are lots of young people who are just discovering the blues now. So say if somebody out there wanted to do what you're doing, but is still at a very young age, what kind of advice would you pass on to them?
Listen is the big thing, you know. And listen to the masters, listen to Muddy Waters, and listen to these guys who had nothing else apart from this music, you know. Even as far back as, you know, way before Muddy Waters, you're into Robert Johnson, you know, that far back. Listen to everything, because what they don't know is maybe that the bands that they actually listen to, you know, your Led Zeppelins of the world, you know, they started off listening to Muddy Waters or Robert Johnson. Even the Rolling Stones too, you know, they Mick Jagger and Keith Richards actually met on a train, and they talked to each other because Mick was holding a Muddy Waters LP.
Wow, and of course their early stuff was very blues.
Oh yeah, all of it.
It was, yeah.
And they were actually they were one of the first guys. They were the first to bring Howlin' Wolf over to England. They put him on a TV show over there. They didn't tell anybody though. They just said, we have a friend coming over.
So Chris, you've got the EP coming out soon as well, haven't you?
We do indeed. It's a 4-track EP and is our debut release. So of course that's always going to be exciting and nervy at the same time. We're just really looking forward to seeing what people think of it. And also, in my eyes, I think any more blues music that's released out there into the world is a good thing.
Of course. Okay, Chris, before you go, will you do one more song for us?
Surely, yes.
What are you going to do this time?
I'm going to do a take on an old blues instrumental.
Okay, Chris, well, thank you for joining us on the show today. Well, here he is, ladies and gentlemen, one more time, Chris Taplin.
50 calls a day, but I don't wanna talk, I'll get my fingers burned. My fingers burn. I've been here before, don't wanna get caught. My lessons learned, my lessons learned. Ooh, you don't know what you do to me, Ooh, you don't know, you scare me, scare me. Driving in my car, 100 miles an hour, get away from you, away from you. Switching off my phone, stopping that ringtone that says it's you, that says it's you. Ooh, you don't know what you do to me, do to me. Ooh, you don't know, you scaring me, scaring me, scaring me, scare me. Ooh, scare me.
So that's a track called Scared from Janet Henry, who joins me now in the studio. Hi, Janet.
Hi, Robin.
So, Janet, tell us about that song, Scared.
Scared. Well, Scared is one of those songs that just popped into my head because sometimes my songs do that. I just make them up. They're not really based on reality, and Scared's one of those. It's really probably about getting involved in a relationship, but you're just a bit tentative and a bit frightened to go that bit further. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. So, so it's a bit dark, but people like that song. They always ask me to perform that song, so I'm happy to do that.
So that's on your new album, which is called Going Home, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is. It's track 2 with great musicians on this album, just super. And we love the electric lead break on this one by Dick Farrelly.
Right. So already the album's picking up great reviews online. I see lots of people are really enjoying it.
Yeah, they really are. It arrived in the post literally probably about a month ago, and I put it out there. I've sent some round to people, and I've got some reviews back, and I've just been blown away. It's just been brilliant. The feedback from it, from critics and listeners alike, it's all been really, really good. So it seems to be taking off.
And you
It's
haven't
great.
had the official album launch yet, have you?
No, I haven't. That's going to happen after the summer. I think with summer's difficult time, with people being away on holiday and whatever. So we are going to launch it in September. We're going to do 2 gigs back to back. That will be the Friday the 14th down in the Red Room in Cookstown, and on Saturday the 15th of September we're going to use CFC Cafe on the Belmont Road in Belfast.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Tell us about the recording process of this, because I believe the studios were more or less created just for your album, weren't they?
Well, you would think they were. I was looking for someone to record my songs. I haven't recorded in quite a while, and it was time really for me to get songs that I'd written over the last few years have been just sitting there. And my album Wonder Why, which was my second album, it's about 10 years actually. So
Really?
I know,
Wow.
it's just busy life, raising kids, time flies. So it was finding the right person to give me what I felt I wanted, and I got in touch with the guy called Dean Stevens, local producer in Hollywood, and I spoke to him and it just clicked, it felt right. But he said to me, there's only one problem, I don't have a studio yet. I said, right, okay. And he says, I'll be literally building it in a few weeks and I'll get in touch. And that's what he did. He built a studio in his back garden. It was finished around December. He started it in November and we started recording at the end of December.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was cold,
Yeah.
but he had plenty of heaters.
Now, the first thing you notice when you grab a copy of the album is the picture on the front, the car, which
Yes.
just looks amazing.
Yes, it's lovely, isn't it?
Where did the car come from?
The car came from Ocker. The story behind the car is, if you look inside the album, you'll see a photograph of my dad.
Yeah.
And that was taken around 1952 or whatever. And I came across that picture and I thought, you know, it'd be so lovely to use that in the cover and kind of tell the story really of all my musical background from my family and from my dad. So I thought if I could do a mirror image of that picture. So we had to source, he's sitting in front of a Humber Snipe and we couldn't quite get a Humber Snipe, but we got a Super Snipe.
Right.
So we discovered that and we got in touch with the people that owned it and they were very kind and said, certainly come down, do your photo shoot with the car. And so that's what we did, and it just was brilliant, you know, to get what it was. I had the image in my head and to actually see it there, it's just lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously your dad was a musician. Did you come from a big musical family?
Yeah, we did. Mum and Dad both were musical. We go out as a duo and sing, and over the years, and then Dad, he kept at it, Mummy stopped, and he had his wee bands and stuff. He never wrote songs, but he just loved music and was playing 2-3 times a week, you know, regularly.
Yeah.
with his friends, and he loved country music and Hank Williams and Johnny Cash and all that sort of is what I grew up with, you know. So that was, and my brother, he plays guitar, and all my brothers are all musical too. So yeah, it just kept going, and hopefully I'm passing it on to my children as well.
So how did you start in music? Did you play in bands and stuff in the beginning?
Yeah, way back, you know, from as a teenager, and really it kind of was from my early days in the church and whatever. That's what got me started, and then I was in the gospel band and doing all that for a long time, and then that graduated from more into more acoustic stuff, and then into some bluegrass. So I do quite a bit of bluegrass as well.
Right.
Yeah, with my husband Colin and my brother Ivan, and my son James is now playing the banjo. So
Brilliant, yeah.
we've all that also to tap into.
Great stuff. So are there any gigs coming up over the summer that we should know about?
Well, in July, the family are going to be doing some bluegrass down in Ardara. There's a festival there around the 20th, 21st, 22nd of July. So that'll be fun. And I'll be doing the 2 launch dates in September for my own music. And then we're going as a Henry band to the Oma American Folk Park, for more bluegrass. So plenty of music.
Will you do one more before you go? Will
Yes,
you do the
absolutely.
title track, Going Home?
Yes, love to.
What's the story behind this one?
I think it really ties in with the photograph of Dad, and really thinking about going full circle, you know, back to my roots and back home again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's have a listen then. Here's Janet one more time with Going Home.
Why does the rain always fall on me? Why does the sun shine and everyone but me? is my beating heart, beating on its own. I really think it's time that I was home. Going home. Going home. I really think it's time that I was home. Why do I miss you now? I never did before. Why do I think of you more and more? Why do I find myself where I don't belong? I really think it's time that I was home. Going home. Going home. I really think it's time that I was home.